Welcome. I'm Janelle Kolaski, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire.
Approaching your career with boss energy. And as I said, I work with people in fashion and entertainment. So when I started out, it was really scary. I thought, how do people create a career where that's all that they do? All they do is working in fashion and entertainment with no safety net or anything. How does that happen? And I first moved to New York City when I was 19, and I didn't know anyone in New York City or in the business. And I gave it a try and got a couple meetings, but it was really discouraging. And I actually left New York City because I was working all these odd jobs and I was just really unhappy. But then a few years later, I was called back because something in me, hey, Nikki, hi. Something called me back, was like screaming, you have to go back to New York City. And luckily, the second time I came back, I started to meet mentors in the fashion and entertainment industry. We're like, yes, you can do this. You don't have to be famous. You just have to approach it like a business. Work on your craft. Find the joy in it. It's something you enjoy, but there is a business side to things. And the other day we were talking about being a multi-hyphenate. And so I am a major multi-hyphenate. In modeling, I do production fit modeling, commercial print, beauty, showroom. For acting, I do a lot of commercials, commercial print, TV, theater, hosting. I do things for doctors' offices, or I'm doing man on the street interviewing with the Travel Channel. So being a multi-hyphenate is okay, and it's also exciting. And as we said, hello, everybody. Hi, Jordan. As we said the other day, it can really help you not only feed your income and your joy and your various creative interests, but you can also have more empathy for other sides of jobs that you didn't even know about in your field. So a lot of times when I'm working with clients, the biggest thing I notice is that they're afraid to even talk to their agents or managers or casting directors or other actors or anybody in the business. And the thing is, we all love art and creating art. And yes, there's money involved because it is a business, but all of us are collaborators. And when you start looking at it like that, like I have something to add, I'm a piece of a puzzle, I have a story to tell, I matter, and I have this magic to share and work with these other people, it changes your vibe. You lose the neediness and people see you. Because before you're like, pick me, I think I can do it. Yeah, I want to be an actor. You know, and Amanda and I were just talking about this. Say boldly what you want to do. So I'm an actor, I'm a coach, I love hosting, I love voiceovers, I love commercials, I love theater. I don't care, because when you say, hi, everybody, hello, hey, Rachel. Rachel's also an amazing actor. You should see her stuff. Very funny lady. When you put that out there, and at first people might be like, oh, okay, but who cares about other people? You know what you are, say it boldly. And when you keep saying that, you're going to link up with the right people with the right energy. So I've kind of been rambling for a little bit here. Amanda, can you kind of speak to what I'm talking about? Because Amanda's also an amazing actor and writer and producer and coach. Speak to maybe a shift you found within yourself when you started to approach it with a little bit more boss energy.
For sure. So the boss energy, it had to come out. That was the only way that I was going to actually pursue my life and my dreams. That's just a matter of fact. So the boss energy had to come out in order for me to be successful or abundant or prosperous and, you know, whatever that may be for me. It had to come out, because if I wanted this, if I wanted my life to feel abundant, if I wanted to live my life's path, my life's purpose, I had to have that boss energy, because then I'm taking responsibility for my actions, for the life that I'm choosing, for the inactions that I'm not doing. I had to. So it was a flip. Again, the biggest, and you'll hear me say this quite often because it was one of the major moments in my life that really shifted my life, was me leaving my 9 to 5 job. This is why I understand the 9 to 5. What about homeless people opinion? What? I need some clarification on that. If you can, give me some clarification. So I had to quit my job. When I quit my job and I took that leap, which was the biggest leap of my life at the time, I had to step up to the plate because no one else was going to do it for me. No one was going to wake me up every day and tell me, do this, that, and the third in order to be successful. I had to take those actions. So in order for me to meet my future self, I had to take boss steps. I had to take boss energy up, right? I had to find it within myself, which meant whatever I was doing beforehand, whatever I was doing currently had to be shifted. I took the initiative to watch those in successful positions, whether they were actors, whether they were businessmen, whether they were working or business women specifically, whether they were working in finance, marketing, whatever that may be. I looked and I paid attention and did the research as to what actions did they take? What were the things that they were doing in order to get them to that level that they are now, which I was not. And instead of looking at it from a competitive standpoint, instead of looking at it from a jealousy standpoint, I looked at it as a part of that. I know I can do that. I know I can, and I'm capable of doing that. Let's see how, right? I mean, how can I persuade someone homeless to believe on his or herself? Okay. That's a very tricky one, I would say, as far as like homeless, meaning like living without a home on the street, or like you just don't have a significant place to stay. Because I can tell you right now, we have someone, we know what that's like, right? I don't want to say anything because Janelle will take that over. But what I will say to that is it's only temporary. Right? It is only temporary. It may not feel that way. Trust me, it may not feel that way. But there is a way to get out of it. There's a way to get out of it. And you have to believe that. See, that's the first step, is to believe that it's possible to get out of the situation that you're in. Know that and believe that and have faith. Now, with that is trusting in the process and trusting in yourself to start looking for options, looking for decisions and choices you can make to change where you currently are. And Janelle will speak to this a little bit more and more into depth. But I would also say seek help where you can. Seek help where you can, because you never know. If you be honest with those that you may know who don't know your situation, be honest with them. Let them know, hey, this is my situation. I'm homeless, at the moment. I'm not asking for a place to stay, but I'm asking if you have any advice for me, if you have any guidance for me, if you know someone that I can possibly stay with them for a little bit. Be honest. Don't, I wouldn't say be in a needy position, because most people won't help you if they feel like you're like very like almost like a leech. But if you do it from the kindness of your heart, I would say ask. And there are also options. If you really do need help, reach out to myself or Janelle. We'll see what type of resources we can send your way. But that's the best advice I can give to you at the moment. I know it may be difficult depending on where you are. I know you're in Athens. Financially, it is becoming winter. Things are not as, abundant as far as jobs and work. But, we'll do our best to help in a way that we can provide some resources for you. I hope that helps. And with that, as far as the boss energy, what I will say is, again, I had to get into that boss position, and mentally, physically, emotionally, to give myself permission to go for it. It was giving myself permission to do it. Now I pass it to you. No. Mhm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Sure. Yes, thank you. All that you have said, I was like, yes, nodding to it because I everything you're saying is so relevant. I think people tend to misunderstand what self-authenticity is and prosperity is. I think people get so scared and it's like, well, I just want to focus on my career. But here's the thing, when you understand who you are, when you understand your truth, when you understand such things as your values, as we talked about on Sunday, when you understand what your voice is and what your talents are and what your gifts are, and also acknowledging the pitfalls, the acknowledging the things that you're not so strong in, your weaknesses as they call it, but it's always meant to be a strength if you work on it and acknowledge that you need improvement, right? You build a solid foundation. You build someone who's reliable, who's business savvy, who's ready, who's prepared, who's healthy mentally and physically, and who's capable. Someone who's going to be present and put in the work without hustling so hard to the point that they deplete themselves and get to a point where you're unhealthy. Because here's the thing, with all that you're when you're pursuing a career or a life's path or a journey of life in general, you're going to come across challenges. You're going to come across situations that are going to set you back. They're going to slap you and punch you in the face and beat you up. I'm going to be honest, they will. But this is when it's really important to establish your self authenticity. This is when it's really important to create a foundation that you can fall upon to build yourself back up. Because once you're down does not mean you have to stay there. You can get up. It's a choice. here's the reality of that too, is that the choices are yours, are in your hands. You have to choose different. You have to choose more. You have to know in your heart that you want more than what you currently have. And it's not to say that you're obnoxious or that you're selfish or that, it's not enough. It's not about not enough. It's about knowing that you can achieve better. And by doing that, you're also creating a sense of energy that comes from you with your self-authenticity, with your truth, with walking into who you are 100%. You share that with the world, and that is a gift. And you inspire others to do the same. It's like anything down the road, someone before you is creating a path for you to walk down. They did that by doing all of these things. They fell. They broke some things. They failed. They, came across a lot of no's. That is, you should be embracing the no's. You should be embracing the rejections. I know it sounds terrible, especially from an actor's perspective. No freaking sucks. It hurts because you feel like you're not enough. You feel that you're doing something wrong. You're not. You're not doing anything wrong. You belong. It's just not your time. It's just not the role for you. Right? Remember that, right? Keep the passion, keep the focus. So when I talk about self-authenticity and prosperity, I'm really talking about knowing who you are so that you can incorporate that into your craft, into your life, into your relationships, and be true. So that way you're not stuck in the past. You're not leading with jealousy or competitive mindset in the sense of, because competition is healthy and if it's not done in a malicious way. I believe that, right? Nell and I are in the same field. We're not competing, we're uplifting, right? But I know that if she's getting something, I know there's space for me too. Forget about the mindset of scarcity. There is no scarcity. There is so much work out there for you. You just have to find what your niche is. You just have to be patient as well, but don't stop. Keep going. And again, self-authenticity is a part of that. Self-identity, self-esteem, your self-confidence, yourself, yourself, your unconscious, your subconscious, all of that, your well-being, all of that is going to allow you to keep the stamina to keep going as well. You need stamina in this. You do. And you need to also be aware of when you need to take a step back and rest. Because I'll be honest, I was in a stage in my life where I didn't rest and I kept going and I kept going and I was exhausting and I became a reclusive person and it was unhealthy. And I wasn't also learning. Life is also about experience. Your experience gives colors and all these essences to the work that you're doing. Your experience is different than mine. Nell's is different than mine. And we will bring that into the work that we do. That is the beautiful part about it. It's like putting the beautiful pieces together and seeing this whole story. You're like, oh my gosh, you want to look back when you're 85, 90 years old, if we're lucky enough to live that long, to go, I tried, I did. Not I couldn't, and I didn't try. It is the worst feeling to look back and say, I should have, but I was too scared to do it. It is a horrible feeling. And I've talked to a lot of elderly people. I've talked to my grandparents, and I love talking to them because they inspire me and they tell you the truth. And this is what fuck what people say and keep going. It doesn't matter. So I'm a very passionate person about this because self-authenticity feeds your success, because you'll lead with kindness and you'll bring your work and yourself and your essence to the world. And by not doing that, you're doing yourself a disservice in the world. Right? And you'll walk more confident. You'll walk in the room and you'll be like, yes, I am here. You don't deserve me, do you? Prove it to me. And it's not being too confident. It's showing that you are walking in the room who you are. Are you ready? Because you're about to experience something amazing. Because I did the work. I prepared. I know who I am and I'm unapologetic about it. And it may not be this role or the next, but eventually it'll be yours. Now I'll pass it back to you. I hope that helps. I was so passionate about that. Ugh.
Yes, give us some hearts. Yes, hello. Thank you, everybody that's joining us. Thank you, thank you. So good to see you. Hi, Chrissy. Yeah, give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. Yes, thank you for sharing that. And it's so true. And you do belong in the room. I know I've worked hard to get into a room maybe, and then I get there and I still feel like I haven't earned it. I mean, booked a TV show, was on set, and I was like, oh, I'm here. I thought this would feel different. And it really comes down to just knowing that you belong there. And the last thing I'll say, because we're running low on time here, is that be bold and be professional, do the work. I don't know if you know Frank Langella, but he's a very famous actor, one of the first Draculas. I remember I met him at a Roundabout Theater Company gala, and I was just standing in the corner and he came over and I was like, hi, because I was like geeking out kind of, and I don't know, he's probably in his late 70s. And, we were talking a bit and he's like, are you an actor too? And I was like, yeah, like I said, make sure you say, yes, I am. But I was like, do you have any advice for me? And he said, do the work.
Yeah.
And that was it. And so do the work, focus on your craft, whatever it is you do, whether you're doing acting or you're a photographer or a makeup artist. There's a craft to everything. You could be a mathematician. There's a craft there too. And focus on your craft. Make sure you have all your materials and constantly doing a little something every day. And above all, taking care of yourself. But also know if you're talking to an agent or manager or a casting director, all these people that are collaborating with you, they're on your team. They want you to book the job. And so a lot of times with my clients, they'll be afraid to talk to their managers or agents, or they'll kind of be afraid of casting directors. And you need to be professional, but they want people that are confident, that they can do the job, that they can trust, aren't going to be scared like when they're on set. And so it's very important that you show up and show that you're ready to do business and you're not going anywhere. You're doing this. You love the craft of acting or whatever your art is, and you would like a job, please. And same thing with an agent or manager. It's a relationship. So if you have an agent or manager and you're afraid to talk to them, I've had this. I've had agent and managers be very mean to me, and I've had other ones that are like, you're amazing. And it can happen. So like any relationship, they should want to talk to you. Don't email them every day. That's a little too much. But you should be able to check in even once a month and say, hey, this is what I've been doing. Is there anything else you think I should do? It is a business relationship. You guys are equal. You're both trying to do the same thing. And you can only help each other. Your agent or manager has a different viewpoint, a different perspective on the industry than you have. And then you have all the work that you're doing and you come together. And so I just want to encourage you to lead your career with that boss energy, because you deserve to have a career. If you want it, you deserve to have it. You're meant to have it. You just got to get your ducks in a row and you got to go for it, and you got to believe in yourself, and you got to say, I'm an actor. I don't care how long it takes. I'm not going anywhere. And people will gravitate towards that. What are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
we'll see you next time.